What if the obstacles you faced so far in your life weren't accidents? They were divine intervention redirecting you towards something greater. My name's Gareth Owen. I'm 24 years old, and this is me documenting my March Madness here on YouTube. If you like what you hear, comment down below, and I'll see you at the end of the video. But let me dig deeper. I was on a phone call with a family friend today, telling me a life story of his where divine intervention slapped him in the face. And it really made me think. And it went a little bit like this. He jumped out of the plane expecting his parachute to work. He had been in the army for numerous years already and well trained and prepared for whatever was to come. But when he went to pull that parachute, it didn't go. So he knew he had maybe 40 seconds to pull this parachute or figure out how he could pull the emergency parachute before he was going to hit the ground and rebound off of it like a rock falling out of the sky. And whether he believed it or not at the time, this was an example where divine intervention broke in to his reality and redirected him on another path without him even realizing. Because for the next 30 seconds, he was falling through the sky, fumbling to get the parachute to go, not even remembering that he could have pulled the backup chute. He was trying so hard to get that emergency parachute dislodged, and eventually did within 10 seconds of him hitting the ground at maximum velocity. When I think of my life and how divine intervention might have interfered in different ways, one experience pops up numerous times. This was a few years back when I wanted to drive up to our family cabin on Vancouver Island and surprise my parents with a visit. This was going to be for either Father's Day, Mother's Day, or Family Day. I can't quite remember. But either way, the gesture was quite honorable, and I was excited to do it. And I just bought my new car within the previous 2 months of that. Been enjoying driving it around, loving it on the freeway. It's got reverse parking camera. Everything's amazing. But that day, I had worked the evening before, almost a full 7-8 hour shift, which was rare for a bartender server at the restaurant I was currently at. And I hadn't packed my suitcase the night before. So when I got home at 11:30, I packed my suitcase up. I packed my supplements, clothes, everything. Next thing I know, it's around 1 a.m., 2 a.m. My ferry was scheduled to leave at 3:45. It's the first ferry going to the island because I wanted to get there early in the morning, surprise them at breakfast, and share a beautiful day with them. So I was like, you know what? It's already 1:30, almost 2 a.m. I'm just not even going to sleep. I don't need sleep because I'm going to sleep before the ferry, on the ferry, whatever. So then I stayed up all night, played a few video games to keep myself awake, and then eventually left at 2:30 to get to the ferries for 3 to make my 3:45 ferry. Got in the line, got my ticket, got in my parking spot, fell asleep. Woke up, ferry was boarding. Oh shit, turn on the car, rush onto the ferry. Okay, Gareth, let's get out, let's use the washroom, and let's go upstairs. No, conk out. Fall asleep at the steering wheel, wake up 2.5 hours later when I've arrived at my destination on the island. Knock, 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 your lane's moving. I'm like, oh shit, gotta go. So I just go off the ferry. I haven't eaten food, I've barely slept, and I haven't used the washroom. I'm in the most uncomfortable state possible. What do? I choose to put on relaxing lo-fi music. Gotta love those chill cow vibes, you know, those studying girl vibes. And I'm listening to lo-fi music in my nice warm air car, and I don't have the windows down, I've got nothing adjusted, and I'm realizing, like, you know what, I'm actually not that far from the nearest bathroom. If I just drive for 30 more minutes, I'll make it to my ferry destination, and I could use the bathroom there. And it was around 20 minutes, almost 25 minutes into this drive where I started to fall asleep. And that was my warning sign. That was my warning sign to just pull off into a rest stop, take a moment, have a nap, just get on a later ferry, show some self-respect, and get there in one piece. And I kept driving in the fast lane because I knew if I just made it sooner, I'd see them sooner, I'd surprise them sooner, everything would be better. I got to be there quick. But I hadn't let my body rest. Next thing you know, everything flashed in the next 10 seconds, and I had fallen asleep at the wheel in the fast lane, started to drift over to the left and gone off of the road as the road was turning to the right, which meant it had all these warning signs plastered along the curve, so that reflecting from far away, you could tell, okay, the road is bending to the right. And I woke up as I went over the rumble strip and everything shook. And next thing you know, I was face to face with one of these signs traveling 120 kilometers per hour. My foot had not come off of the gas. And thank God my first reaction was back to the right. But as I cranked it to the right, I did it a little bit too sharp. I smoked one of those signs that bent my front left side of my car in. And next thing you know, I'm now cranked so far that I'm going back across my lanes, but over the fast lane into the slow lane. Luckily, I didn't have time to rear view mirror check or anything, but I didn't hit anybody. And I managed to crank it back to the left, repivot to the right, and straighten out. The adrenaline rush I felt was unparalleled. I couldn't sleep for the rest of the day. When I arrived that morning to my parents, knock, knock, knock. Happy Mother's Day, happy Father's Day. So happy to surprise you guys. They're like, oh my God, we're so happy to see you. We had no idea this was happening. This is such a beautiful surprise, son. And I'm like, yes, love you guys. Great to be here. I'm happy to make it work. You know, my uncle was part of the plan. We kept it secret for so long, but there's a catch. I just need you to come out and look at my new car. And my mom went, what? Next thing you know, they see the damage. She starts to cry. She's like, what happened? And this is a point now in my life where I reflect on it quite often. And I'm like, I couldn't even be here today if I would have made one other decision while I was behind the wheel of that car. Thank God I didn't just turn to the left, go into oncoming traffic, and hit one of those numerous trucks going the other way. Thank God when I cranked my car, I didn't roll my car and potentially kill myself in the process. Thank goodness, even though that went wrong, nothing else went wrong. My car was still in stable enough condition to drive to the island and be there with my family again. And that's when I realized a lot of this shit that's going on around us every single day doesn't really matter. And what truly matters is a few specific moments throughout the day, weeks, months, where things can either go really well and really wrong. And that was a very lucky situation for me, where whether someone was looking out for me or what I believe is just that divine intervention, I was meant to stay alive at that point, to come to the place I'm at today, to share my message with whoever sees this, whoever hears this, and hopefully touches you. And I want to embrace a community of people where they feel comfortable sharing these moments that sometimes we shelter up and we don't talk about, but we're scared of them. You know, we're concerned about the what if. And the greatest part about it is that we are still here. And your most powerful part about it for you is that you have the voice to share it with others. And if you don't have the voice to share with others, go onto a platform like X, like Blue Sky, send a text message to your friends or relatives and tell them about it before you find your voice. Record yourself talking about it. Take the power away from the situation that scares you so much, because holding this information in is truly what's going to drag you down and keep you down and not let you excel to that next level of your life, which I'm telling you from experience, it's possible, but sometimes you have to go through all the shit to realize that's what you're meant to go and do now. And your power comes from your ability to share it with others. Now, I want to know a little bit more about you guys. So if you'll do it, drop a subscribe on the video, leave a comment down below about one experience in your life where divine intervention might have stepped in. And I'll engage with all the comments, whoever's down there. I really appreciate you sticking around until this moment. Maybe comment the word divine first so I know you made it to the end. And just know that this process, self-development, it's never ending. There's more bad days than there are good days. There's more difficult times than there are winning moments. But it's the process and the consistency that matters. For myself, I've missed the last, 5 days of posting these long-form content. And I'm disappointed in myself. But you know what's better than staying disappointed in myself? Getting out here, pressing record, and chatting with you once again. So like I said, hopefully you enjoyed. I love you guys. Thank you for sticking around. And I'll see you in the next video.